everyone, today we will take you through the role of consumer behavior in our lives. I surprised Happy by going over to her place. I was looking for a sense of belongingness, as in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where love and friendship fulfill this need. Happy was overjoyed to see me, as she was looking to fulfill the same need. We had a strong drive of motivation to spend time with a friend. While talking, I suggested that we go out to grab a bite. This motivational want was created by personal and cultural factors of the need to satisfy the gap between the actual and ideal self, where the actual self is wanting good food. Also, the culture to eat a meal with a friend and not to eat by ourselves. These beliefs and attitudes are based on family and previous experience. This also reflects ritual theory, where the pattern of eating together is part of our culture. Happy and I are both extroverts and socially outgoing. Happy suggested we go to McDonald's as she saw an advertisement on $1 meals on Instagram. This was reactive consumer behavior, where consumers respond to stimuli from the outside world. This was also limited problem solving, where only prominent criteria was used and alternatives were not evaluated. I hadn't tried out McDonald's in Australia yet, and my personality of being openness to new experiences made me excited about the plan. Also, my personality of agreeableness came into the picture, where I agreed with Happy's suggestions. We wanted to get our physiological need of satisfying our hunger and self-actualization need of enjoying with friends as per Maslow's hierarchy of needs satisfied. The motivational directions in terms of biogenic need, sustaining life through food, hedonic need, spending time with friends, and psychogenic need for affiliation through friendship, are also connected to this. Happy, through our experiential learning of a great experience at McDonald's in India, suggested we go to McDonald's in Australia. We did not invite other friends, as reference group effects are more robust for purchases that are luxurious rather than necessities, and a risky shift of group influence could affect our current plan.
I remembered some of my friends talking about good and free public transport in Wollongong. Information research is the second stage of decision making, is what helped us in this decision. It involved directed learning, where there is prior search for information. While entering and leaving the bus, people greeted the bus driver. This was acculturation, where we learned Aussie values. We could see the red and yellow Big M branding from far, which made it stand out for the fast food joints. The branding appealed to our vision, the red indicating excitement and yellow indicating the warmth and happiness. This is also a strategy to increase involvement, where prominent stimuli such as big banners increase involvement. As per Belk's 5 situational influences, the social surrounding affect purchasing decisions. The presence of many people happily eating made the social surrounding extremely favorable. However, we were astonished to see that there was not even a single vegetarian option in the menu. With disappointed faces, we left McDonald's and began looking for alternate options. As we were evaluating our alternatives in the decision-making process, we immediately thought of our evoked set, all the brands in our memory such as Burger King, Pizza Hut. However, none of these were nearby. As alternatives, we had Red Rooster and Outback, which were both undesirable for us, creating an avoidance motivation conflict that consumers face when they need to make a choice between two undesirable alternatives. Our neurotic personalities made us upset. This dissatisfaction would indeed be lasting and create an exit where we may not come to McDonald's again. Furthermore, distortions occur in perpetual interpretation, where first impressions are usually lasting. The experiential hierarchy of feel, do, learn was observed, where we felt like going to McDonald's after seeing the advertisement, visited the place, and then learnt about the unavailability of vegetarian options that formed our opinion of the place. The need was still to feed ourselves, and the want was good food and spend quality time with each other. We were at first stage of decision-making problem recognition through existing product knowledge based on direct learning from watching MasterChef Australia. We knew that many Indians have cooked using groceries from coals. Also, cooking is a very important part of our Indian culture. Consumer culture theory came into picture here, bringing in the social and cultural point of view, so we took the gong shuttle again to go to Coles.
The store had a great layout, long gondolas in a repetitive fashion, contributing into physical surroundings from Belk's 5 situational influences that influence consumer purchasing activity. The signboards at each section made it very easy for us to locate the international section, which had the Indian section. This made our shopping experience convenient, expressing consumption-specific values. Coles' brand personality plays a big role in attracting customers like us who are international. The absence of a crowd in social surroundings made the experience favorable. The theory of planned behavior came into play when our attitude towards cooking economic meals formed our behavioral intentions. Our personality was being frugal as we only planned to buy things which we didn't have. We planned to make an Indian dish called chole rice, which required chickpeas. We found chickpeas at low price with a healthy rating of 5, which would also help bring us closer to our ideal selves of eating healthy. We had planned on making the gravy on our own, but when we saw Patak's bottles of premixed gravies, it was a relief as we would be able to quickly cook using it. This indicated the product-specific value of ease of use that appealed to us. We found it in the lane opposite to the chickpeas. This was an unplanned buy for quick and low-priced meal. This also depicted self-product congruence where our cultural values were consistent with the things we bought. This was the decision stage in decision-making where the country of origin as a product signal affects decision making. This also reflected ethnocentrism as we preferred to buy the ready-made Indian curry. On the way to the self-checkout counter, Rupali picked up a chocolate that was conveniently placed just outside for a sudden purchase. This was an impulse buy as she loves chocolate and couldn't control her urge. At the checkout counter, we got to know about the Flybuys program, which can be availed against points at the store. Principles of instrumental conditioning are at work when a consumer is rewarded for a purchase decision. This would reinforce regular purchase. We were getting hungry, so we quickly shopped and bought products to prepare a quick meal. Here, temporal factors from Belk's 5 situational influences came into play. The reason for shopping was utilitarian and hedonic. It not only solved the purpose of buying ingredients for us to cook and satisfy our hunger needs, but also gave us time to bond over friendship as in Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
We headed back home looking forward to our cooking experience together. Through cognitive learning in terms of observational learning, I learned to cook from seeing my mother. This was the encoding stage in the role of memory. I remembered my mother using garlic for its digestive benefits. This was the retrieval stage in role of memory. I began with adding garlic. Rupali found a recipe through YouTube videos and found great tips for cooking our dish, which was spices to enhance the flavor. The storage stage in the role of memory came into play here, for I was integrating the knowledge that is already in my memory. This would also come under proactive interference, where prior learning interferes with new learning. Our appetite was stimulated by the wonderful aromas from the curry, stimulating our smell sensory system. Happy was inspired by MasterChef videos where she saw aesthetically plated dishes. This inferred memory and aesthetic preferences. She beautifully plated our dishes, and seeing them, the visual sensory system further stimulated our appetite. Looking at the meal, there was a feeling of self-accomplishment for both of us as per McLaughlин's motives or for the need for achievement. As Indians, our taste buds are used to strong flavors, and thus adding spices was a perpetual process where changes in culture determine the tastes we find desirable. We felt very satisfied with the quick and delicious meal. The consumption situation made us utilize quick prepping ingredients, else Happy would have to cook from scratch. We ate our meal together, which made us feel close to our cultural values. The cooking experience was low involvement hierarchy, learn, do, feel, where we learned about buying ingredients from Coles, after which we cooked the meal and then felt extremely satisfied and happy about the process. Our overall attitude from the experience at McDonald's was negative, and the dominant component was affective as we felt very disappointed. But our overall attitude for shopping and cooking experience was positive, and the dominant component was affective as it helped us achieve our goal of spending good time together. We are influencers in role theory. Our private response on dissatisfaction for McDonald's and positive word of mouth for Coles was conveyed to our friends. We also use WhatsApp and other social media platforms to tell them about our experiences.